What's up? Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads, and check out the links posted in the description down below to support the channel. Today I want to talk about the performance of Luke Shaw and indeed some of the media circus that surrounds this guy, because now has to come to a time where people are asking the question as to who this guy knows or who he's related to, because I can't understand how this fella keeps getting selected in games for Manchester United. You start off there at the start of the summer. United at the time had Alex Telles and they had Luke Shaw. Alex Telles was on holidays. Erik ten Hag came in, trained Manchester United on a Monday where Luke Shaw was present, and on Tuesday then United were looking for another left full. To me now that would have said an awful lot that he didn't rate Luke Shaw. Tyrell Malacia comes into the club, plays excellently during pre-season, and every fan I'm sure understood that the plan was for Tyrell Malacia to be the first choice left full. Yet today we found that the first 11 consisted of Luke Shaw, a baffling decision. Anybody that's been watching Manchester United for the last number of years knows that Luke Shaw is not someone to be counted on, and he gives very strange interviews, as we can see here. And not only that, but the opposition have this fella figured out. They'll attack the left hand side of Manchester United all of the time, pinging balls out, because this fella is regularly out of position and he can't block a cross, which is something that you're supposed to be able to do as a defender. Now, not only can he not defend, but he is absolutely useless at attacking. So I don't understand what he's still doing at the club. I don't understand how Alex Telles was deemed to be surplus to requirements at Manchester United, but this fella wasn't. So there's some very serious questions that need to be asked, and Erik ten Hag hasn't helped himself out by not only selecting this fella, but other people that were selected today in the first 11. I just wanted to go in on this fella though in particular, because his attitude and his comments to the media really irritate me, they do. This is a guy that arrived at pre-season overweight, and he is someone that consistently and constantly gobs out to the media, unhappy with managers, unhappy with tactics. Maybe you're the problem. Because anybody can see at this stage of the game that when United are failing to block crosses that are ending up turning into goals, and indeed not following the right man and not even making an attempt to stick our leg out and try and block crosses, this is a very big problem and a warning sign. Tyrell Malacia comes onto the pitch and instantly he's closing fellas down trying to stop the cross. You also see then Luke Shaw is skinned, and I mean skinned, by Danny Welbeck there today. You see Lisandro Martinez having to pick up Luke Shaw's man and then having to recover a ball to take it away from Danny Welbeck later on in the game to help this fella out because he's unfit, he doesn't have any concentration, and he's been criticised by many people, including previous managers. Louis van Gaal wasn't a fan of this fella, Jose Mourinho wasn't a fan of this fella, and Ralf Rangnick wasn't a fan of this fella. Do you not see what the constant and consistent problem is? It's this guy. So you see this here that says Luke Shaw praises the progress the Reds have made under Erik ten Hag so far. We're moving in the right direction. I don't think so, because you keep getting selected. And these type of interviews to me are very weird, because why is a player that has flattered to the sea for nearly a decade at Manchester United being asked what he thinks of the current situation? This fella's been terrible. You think of great left fulls that have played for Manchester United before in Dennis Irwin and Patrice Evra, fellas with standards, fellas with ability, and this fella's still coasting by. It's unbelievable. As I said here, the tail is wagging the dog. Luke Shaw has been offered for Manchester United, yet he's been constantly promoted and isn't being criticised for failing to defend properly. This is something that is going on even with the pundits. Michael Richards will blame everybody else bar Luke Shaw. It's starting to think what's going on. Even the media won't talk about it. You've got fan channels that won't talk about this guy. Not all of them, but some of them. The teams love to go down the left side of Manchester United because he's a weak link. That's what I'm saying to you now. Watch them now for the next couple of weeks if he's selected in the first 11. This has been happening now for a very long time, and you only have to look at the campaign last season to know that that's true. Some of the comedy of errors that happened last season to have massive concessions and goals came down the left hand side, or this fella's inability to defend. My question is this: who is Shaw related to or friends with that's preventing the criticism? This fella has to be related to or friends with someone in very high places. How he's still there baffles me. As I said there, Mark Goldbridge at the United stand loves to defend Shaw, so much so that his followers gave Shaw a lower rating than him in a pre-season game, and Goldbridge threw a wobbler. That's true. Goldbridge has nearly 3 million followers, and it was a fan vote, and they voted him lower, they did, than the rating that Goldbridge gave Shaw. And he said, I'm not going to do any ratings on Luke Shaw anymore. It's clear that people have an agenda against this guy. Yeah, that's right, Mark, because he's shit. If this fella was playing in a Sunday league on a Sunday morning with like a pub team, he'd be whipped off and he wouldn't play again. It's hard to believe. Financially and player-wise, it makes no sense to send Tellez on loan when he's the better player of the two. And this comes down to finances. Now, we've shaved off £77 there away from Tellez to just round it down to 93,000. This is the stark reality of the situation here. You've got £93,000 has been given to Alex Tellez a week, a better player. £150,000 has been given to Luke Shaw a week, who's a lesser player. Tellez has 6 assists in 30 games. Luke Shaw has 14 assists in 8 years. So for anyone that's telling you that he's being used and utilised as someone that's a better attacker than Tellez, is talking shy. Complete shy. 57 grand a week is lost by the club by employing Shaw over Tellez. Over 2 million, actually closer to 3 million, is lost in a year by employing this man over Alex Tellez. That's just one example. Shaw's contract ends in 2023 and he's looking for a new deal. On what merit? He's been there nearly 10 years. At what point in time have you said that this fella's played a blinder? And if someone says, oh, he played great in Euro 2020, don't care, international duty. No interest, got nothing to do with United. Malacia was brought in after Erik ten Hag did one training session, as I said, with Luke Shaw. And why did Erik ten Hag select this player that is known for talking to the media but he fails to perform? There are questions that need to be asked, and there are some of the questions that are not even being asked by interviewers at the end of a game. Interviewers today were very interested in the performance of Christian Eriksen, who did perform well, and surprisingly not very interested in why United are conceding goals and why did they bring in a left full and send another fella away whilst this waste of space is still at the club. It's baffling. So anyway, I hope to see Luke Shaw exit the team pretty soon. You see the likes of Chelsea there that are able to pay 60 odd million for Marc Cucurella, who's a much better player than Luke Shaw, and I think the large majority of teams in the Premier League have better players than this guy. At what other Premier League team would this be accepted that a fella comes to a pre-season overweight, constantly flatters to deceive and gives it the big one to the media? This guy needs to go, and the sooner he goes the better. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video there. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads, and check out the links posted in the description down below to support the channel, and talk to you later. Look.